The Soweto Electricity Crisis Committee says it's tired of being bullied by Eskom. Residents are planning a shutdown to force government to lower electricity rates. They say they simply cannot afford. They say they're also angry at Eskom for disconnecting areas owing it money. For on this now, I'm joined by committee member Trevor Ngwane. Trevor, very good evening to you. Thank you for coming in. So bullied and targeted is how the Soweto residents that you speak for are feeling as regards to Eskom. How?
Well, for example, about a week ago, Eskom issued a press statement by the new spokesperson, Mr. Sikonatu Manjanja, where he made it clear that load shedding is taking place more frequently in so-called low-paying areas, meaning low-income areas, low-income neighborhoods, poor working-class townships. So we think that we, the poor, are bearing the brunt of the problems of Eskom.
You talk about we the poor, but there are many other poor parts of South Africa. Not all of them, in fact, none of them owe Eskom in excess of 18 billion rand for electricity, which is what Soweto owes. So why won't you pay?
Well, firstly, electricity is not affordable for not only Sowetans, but for most people in South Africa. You know very well, the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. People simply cannot cope. When they do pay for electricity, it means they forgo many other basic necessities. The only difference is that Sowetans are fighting back.
But Sowetans, Trevor, did not rack up 18 billion rand overnight. This is not a bill from 2015, last year, or even today. It's a bill that's been building for years. So surely it cannot now be wished away to say, oh, these are tough economic times, and that's why no one is paying.
Yeah, that is correct. But we have to look at how the debt accumulated, and must also look at, how can I say? Yeah, how the debt accumulated.
Which is how, in your view?
Well, the people of Soweto, they were paying their electricity, and they were paying a flat rate after the rent boycott. And then Eskom came in with price increases of up to 800%, So suddenly a household had to find 800% more money to pay electricity. Also, Eskom was not doing its job properly. For example, not reading the meters, not calibrating the meters. And it was using subcontractors to actually, read the meters and also cut off people. As a result, corruption slipped into the system. And then the people of Soweto lost trust in actually Eskom's management.
And I get that, right? But you also can't sit here tonight and deny that there are people in Soweto, a great many of them, who sit tonight not paying simply because they can piggyback on the concerns of people who, as you say, may very well be genuinely too poor to pay.
Exactly. And there are also those who don't pay out of insolidarity with those who cannot pay.
But why? No. But how are you not paying in solidarity with those who can't afford? If we were all to say tonight that we stand in solidarity with the people of Soweto who can't afford to pay, therefore we're not paying, the whole grid would collapse. Surely that logic doesn't work out?
Why would the grid collapse? Because it's not that Eskom's problems come from people not paying their bills.
But it's a great part of it. I mean, when you look at the Eskom reports and presentations, yes, there's state capture, there's mismanagement, but among the issues is that municipalities are also not paying Eskom, be it Soweto, various other parts of the country as well. You are sitting with an 18 billion rand plus debt. So you can't then say, I can afford, but I'm not paying because Trevor can't afford. That doesn't make sense.
It does to me.
How so?
So let's go back at the percentage of both the Soweto debt and the municipal debt. Together, it doesn't go beyond 10% of the overall debt. I admit every rand, every billion counts and can help. But Eskom's overall debt is 605 billion, and the municipalities together with Soweto only owe 40 billion. I agree it's a big, but it's less.
So why aren't you guys
10.
paying the 40 billion?
No, listen, it's 10%. The real question you should ask is, where did the 500 billion go to?
We can have that conversation with guests who deal with that.
It's a serious
You and I are having a conversation about Soweto. So you talk about people being poor, right? There is a provision for poor people as far as electricity supply is concerned. There's an indigent register, for example. How many of the people that you speak for have registered as indigent and unable to afford rates?
Well, the indigent system does not work very well, can you see? Because, number one, it has got an arbitrary cutoff. Number two, it is set so low that, few people actually qualify. Number three, corruption creeps in. Number four, so there are so many problems with the... What was good was when the ANC government had a policy of providing a lifeline free amount of electricity for everyone, which was 50 kilowatt hour per family. But in Johannesburg, Mayor Mashaba scrapped that, and I believe that most municipalities have scrapped that.
But out of time, Trevor, you've not told me how many of the people you speak for are registered as indigent and unable to pay. People listening to this conversation will say you've done everything to list reasons not to pay versus to say what you can do to resolve this crisis.
No, we do want to resolve this crisis. That is the reason why we're taking action tomorrow and on budget day to raise awareness that this is a national crisis. It's no use scapegoating Sowetans alone. The Soweto debt did not create the problems of Eskom. There are bigger issues, including the use of fossil fuels. We need to move to renewable energy, otherwise we'll never make it.
And those have been discussed, but the Soweto one is also a great deal of the issues at Eskom. 18 billion rand is still a lot of money. Trevor Ngwane, interested to see how this will pan out ahead of budget day. Thank you so much for being on Nightline tonight.